Welcome to the Black on Shelf podcast, a podcast championing Black and brown entrepreneurs on the digital and physical shelves. I'm your host, Tanaj Ferguson. This is Black on Shelf. Hey, Boss Fam, we're talking to Idia today, founder of Ola and Mide. I'm so excited to talk to you. We actually met through a friend. Shout out to Lakia for connecting us. Let's get started by talking about your background. Who is Idia, the mother, the wife, the makeup artist, the founder? Tell us a little bit more about you and how you started this brand.
My name is Idia. As we've been through, my name is Idia. I am a makeup artist. I have a brand called Ola and Mide where we celebrate melanin children through our products.
Yes.
So all the colors that I curate with Ola and Mide are curated around children of color. Mm-hmm. So it's basically to celebrate their skin. So like no product that we sell is dull. It's only going to enhance, and you know, when you see it on the child, you'd be like, oh my God, like this, oh, she looks so bright and beautiful, and oh, she looks so bright and whatever, you know. So yeah, that's all I needed.
Yeah, talk to us about how a makeup artist gets into sustainable baby goods.
Oh, okay. So after I had my kids, I became a stay-at-home mom. And I was like really into it in the beginning. Like, yeah, I was cooking, I was making homemade pouches, homemade applesauce, coming up with all types of different, like, if you knew me on the Instagram, like I was doing all of like
we got to get the recipes from you.
They ate good. Mm-hmm. So I was buying like all of these products from like you know, like white companies or whatever. Yeah. And I noticed like they only had like a speck of a child that looked like mine on their page. And I'm just like, I'm spending like $50-$60 on some stuff and you can't even
recognize us.
You can't even recognize my kids or kids that look like mine. So I was like, let me do some research, because I know what I like, and I'm purchasing from you guys because I love the aesthetic. I love how it looks. Quality. I love how it looks in my house or whatever like that. But I'm like, you know what? Scratch that. I'm gonna make my own stuff and create a collective. Yes, for all children, but for, like I said, children that look like mine and the kids that are around me that I celebrate on a daily. I want them to be celebrated through products that people purchase from me, or you know, like products that
you want to really represent melanin kids. Yeah.
So when you go into, you know, on our Instagram page, all you're gonna see is beautiful, bright melanin children,
black and brown children.
And not to say that I'm not gonna add, like, you know, if they send photo or anyone, I will celebrate all children, but I just want parents and caretakers to know that our brand is a space celebrated for them.
Yes, I love that. So before we started on the podcast, you shared that you have 2 children. Did I get that right?
Yeah, 2 girls.
So talk to me about your experience as a mother and businesswoman. And, you know, we were talking about sort of, do you ever feel prepared for motherhood? What it's like being a stay-at-home mom? Share with us some of those experiences. Why did you first decide to, if you could share with the Boss Fam, sort of why you decided to go full-time as a mother and what advantages, you know, that provided you and your family?
So, okay. You know, sometimes I feel like you have to give trigger warnings to people. Yeah. So my first pregnancy, I had twins. So I had a boy and a girl. Okay. And at 6 weeks, we lost our son. So that, I wasn't like like I told you before, like I wasn't mentally sound to go back to
6 weeks, right?
He was 6 weeks.
6 weeks, man.
That's so I wasn't mentally sound to go back to work. And my husband was just like, just stay home. Like, stay home, with our daughter, like, you know, so, and that's exactly what I did. And it took me, and I'm happy I did that, because I feel like I wouldn't honestly have existed fully or whatever I was going to go back to work to do anyway. So I was happy I was able to stay home. And then I have another one. She's one, and you know, the advantages of that is that I'm able to fully pour into my kids. I'm really able to know them and, you know, understand and see, you know, what things we got to work on. Okay, she's not doing her numbers like this. Let's get the resources and let's get the help to make sure that she's getting these things. I'm able to be that second, third, fourth eye for my kids, and to just know like what I'm putting in their bodies, and if they're sick, I know just by touching their feet. All right, I already know what's going on. I'm their doctor. So it's like, these are things that I was able and awarded to be able to do by staying home. So yeah, that's what really prompted it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a big deal, particularly as a millennial mom, being able to, it's a little bit, you know, I would say it's not as common. Some of our parents might have stayed home with us, but you don't always find Black millennial moms who are able to be full-time stay-at-home moms. And I think the other thing about your story is really around the pain that comes from loss.
Yeah.
You know, it's something we don't get to talk about a lot in our communities. And I think people are sometimes looking for those communities where they can share and where someone understands that experience. So what was that like, and how did you sort of self-soothe with, you know, in and of yourself and with your community, with your direct family and friends, to sort of make sense of it for yourself, or to be able to honor the experience and find a way to move forward with your baby girl that did, you know, live?
Okay, so that's a deep one.
Yeah, we were going there.
I turned a lot to, I leaned a lot on my friends, my family, cooking. That, like, I was able, like I said, like I was able to come up with all types of recipes and you know, like lean into nutrition and, you know, kind of pretend to be the hostess of the mostest. But like, honestly, my friends and my family, like I leaned on them, like they legit saved me. So, because, you know, loss is not, it's not like a one size fit all. So everyone deals with things differently. My grief process was very rough. Like it was very, very rough. But you know, I'm thankful that I was able to, not thankful that it happened, but I was thankful I was able to have people support me during that time, like 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I did not lack support when it came to like certain friends and family.
Yeah.
And my husband as well.
And your husband, yeah. What would you say to another woman of color that might be struggling with this now, or who has had the same experience? What are some of the things you've learned along the way to become stronger and to, you know, create purpose out of the pain, if that is what they're looking to do?
Honestly, like, you really got to feel it. Like, you really have to go through all the motions. You have to speak up, because nobody, you couldn't look at me and know what was going on in my mind, because I was very, I mean, if you knew me, you knew, you know, but like if you saw me at a Whole Foods, like you wouldn't know the pain and the torture and everything I was going through in my mind. But I would say to speak up, like talk to people, have that person that you speak to, either it be a therapist, either it be a friend, either it be like your spouse, parent, somebody, you know, like find an outlet, because it's not easy. Like it's not easy at all.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that too, like don't feel like your pain doesn't always have to turn into like something so big, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you really just go through some stuff, and like
you could say that,
and it's like, and that's okay too.
And
you
that's
deal
okay
with it,
too.
and you gotta just live.
Yeah. Would you say, I know you mentioned outlet, would you say building this business maybe a part of that outlet? I know cooking was one of the outlets for you. Were you looking for something to do? Like ultimately, were you think you were looking for things to keep you busy, keep your mind busy?
Yeah, like anything that would keep my mom busy, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. And I think cooking and, you know, I don't know, going out and walking and, you know, buying new foods and fruit and this, whatever, like was my outlet. It was legit my outlet. I did it every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. You know, finding ways to reconnect with yourself. Because you're here, you're present, you have to be mom and wife and yourself, you know. All of those things help you to say, oh, I'm here. I'm gonna live my life here and find a way to push forward.
Yeah. And that was that. Like that was, you know, I think about it every day. But I think this, you know, this is year three for all of us. Was, you know, it's better.
Yeah.
It's better. Like it's better. It's not easy. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but it's better. Yeah. It's better. We're able to celebrate him in so many ways and, you know, uplift his, you know, his sister and both of his sisters. And just like soon they'll be at the age where we will be explaining to, you know, my oldest, like, yo, like, girl, you wasn't born alone. Like, you know, so it like just so she can have that and just know like you're special. Like you're very, very special.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so yeah.
That's awesome. That, you know, you're able to one day explain that and let her know how important she is to you because of all that has happened. So I know the name Ola and Mide is Yoruba. Talk to us. It's Yoruba from, you know, your background. Talk to us about sort of how you came to the brand name and what that represents for you.
Technically, I don't think a lot of people know. I'm not Yoruba. My dad is Igbo. But,
oh my goodness, you're about to start a little war.
Right? But my husband is Yoruba, so
there you go.
Their names are their middle names are Yoruba. So my son's middle name is Olawale and Halima's middle name is Olamide, and they both mean the same thing. Yes. Like I didn't want them to have like the same name. Yeah. But when we picked the names, I'm like, oh shoot, like it's technically the same name. Like
it was the names for the twins at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Olawale and Olamide.
Olamide.
So
what is your youngest gonna say that you name your whole company after your oldest?
Hopefully then we'll figure something out for her. She's included.
I'm a middle child, so I would be like, wait, mommy, why you name this after my older sister?
No, but
it means my wealth has arrived, right?
Yes. My wealth has arrived, my joy has come. And I so like the name was just very profound, and I wanted it to reflect in our business because it's like when you receive the product, like I want you to feel like, yo, this is everything for my special being. Yeah. Or whoever you're gifting it to, like it's for you. Like this is specially handpicked for you.
Yeah. And I know, so it's silicone, bibs, bowls, spoons. What was your experience of feeding your babies before Ola and Mide? Messy, I'm guessing.
It was so ghetto. It was cute. Oh my goodness. Like it wasn't because we live in an African household. I feel like we kind of ate a little more.
Talk to me about this. This is good cultural relevance here.
So my oldest daughter, because she was around longer, she ate a lot. She may be skinny and whatever. She eats a lot. So I feel like the bowls weren't big enough. Like, you know, she's like, I want more. I want fruit. I want banana. I want oatmeal. So when I picked this product, I was like, dang, like, I hope this stuff fits everything that she likes because as long as it does, I think we're good. But it was just like a mess. Like it was always a mess. It was always on the floor. Like the bowls, these are actual suction bowls. And at her
I love that about it. You know, the best thing. So the audience, you have to watch her highlight stories showing the babies eating from it, because their reaction is to like use their hands because they're learning to eat. You know, they're going through the development stages and they're like trying to pick up the bowl, and you know that could be all over the floor if they were able to pick up the bowl.
there's a video on my page of my daughter, and people were like, "Wait, is she joking?" And I'm like, "No, like she really can."
She's like, "I want to throw it back."
But my other daughter, she's more like she can unhook her car seat, and she's one.
Okay.
It's crazy. So this one, even though like it's hard even for me to untake
Suction, yeah.
Unsection it.
Yeah.
There's like this class here for parents to be able to lift.
She learned that? Don't tell me she learned that.
She literally just one day was like lifting the thing and was like,
uh-oh.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, you know what?
Baby Einstein.
Like, at this point, like, we gonna sell these bowls. They work. They just may not work.
She's been watching you like, how is mommy doing this?
Yeah.
Talk to me about so I know one of the things I think about a lot is because I'm from, you know, the Bahamas, and I see in the US market there's a lot of different baby foods and a lot of different practices on how you introduce your kids to food. What are some of the foods African kids eat, like stage 2 or their initial solids foods? Are they the traditional conventional American foods, or are they some different fruits, vegetables, or things? I'm curious about that.
Mine was a little different because like my mom, like I have like the kind of like the best of both worlds, like Lakia. Like my mom's American and my dad's Nigerian, but for me, I was very into like learning because I'm like, I already know how to make the American food, like, right? Mm-hmm. So let me try to learn how to make like our traditional dishes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I introduced, it's so crazy. I was a little bit more stern with my oldest daughter because I'm like, okay, like you got to eat this and make sure you're not allergic to that. But then with my youngest daughter, I was like, you know, let's start introducing. So she would eat like, you know, pounded yam, rice, at like 6 months, you know, like she was eating it, like she was legit eating, like of course I was mashing it up and stuff like that, but she was legit eating it. And some kids are just ready before others, so like you just honestly, for me, is like I just use my discretion. And then in that whole moment, we figured out, we had found that she actually has a peanut allergy.
Oh, and what happened when she ate the peanut sauce or the peanuts?
It was suya. Suya actually is peanut base.
Okay, tell me about that dish. I'm not familiar with it.
So it's basically a grilled meat, but it has like, it's like a base. It's like spice, like it's different spices and like ground peanuts, and you grill it. So I gave her something with suya spice on it, and she had like an allergic reaction, and that's where
like hives
all on her arm. And that's what we figured out, you know, by introducing foods to her early, that that's what she learned to.
Now, for the peanut allergy, is it something you're able to introduce her more and she doesn't have the reaction, or is she's
I haven't,
no more peanuts?
I haven't, like I just stopped, like I haven't, but we're actually going to start introducing, because we recently just found out in like July, so I wasn't really comfortable, but now I'm like, okay, let's start the process of introducing like almonds and cashews and things like that, you know, because she doesn't react to like almond milk. So let's see like if she reacts to like almond butter, because that's how I am. Like I'm allergic to certain tree nuts. Like
oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I am. Like I'm allergic to pecans and like what's the other one? I forget. I just try to stay away from it.
You stay away. You're like, your brain is like, you don't know this. Don't eat it.
But I'm not allergic to peanut butter. So it's crazy.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you build a brand, or you identify the product. And a lot of it was because of your experience and also products you saw in the market that you were using, but you didn't see that representation. Talk to us about some of the steps it takes, because you are a new business you started January 2020, but I'm guessing maybe you were investigating some things before that.
Yeah.
So and finally pull the trigger.
I have pictures from like 3 years ago. of like what I wanted to do, like legit mood boards of what product ideally like I wanted or what I wanted to do and stuff like that. But I pulled the trigger in, well, a little before July actually, when we registered the business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just had to make sure I had like the perfect product. So I don't use a microwave, but I gave my product to people who do have microwaves, and I'm like, hey, does this work? Did you microwave it? Did it melt? Did it do this? Did it?
So you like actually don't own a microwave?
No, I don't use it for like just little stuff you be reading and stuff. I'd be scared.
Right.
So we just use the oven or like an air fryer. And
yes.
like, do it. But it tastes better anyway. Like when you use oven, like but I wanted to actually see like how
test
it works.
So you had your friends test it. Silicone can go in the microwave.
Yes, it can. It's dishwasher safe, hot water. Like I put it in the hottest of hottest. Like I've sanitized it in an actual like boiling pot in like
it stands up to all of that. Yeah, and it doesn't stain. That's really good.
We use a lot of like like red stew and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I cook with a lot of curry. And I had a white bowl. It's called
that didn't stain either.
Not stain. Not one. Did not stain one bit.
Okay, and of course, silicone is a very flexible material, so it's great for families with kids, definitely.
And don't get me wrong, too. It's not only for kids, because even me, like after I gave birth, this was literally my rule of thumb of what I was eating.
Yeah, as your portion control mechanism.
In here, like this is literally all I ate. Like I don't even eat out of big bowls. Yeah. So I have customers who literally buy it for their acai bowls in the morning or for their oatmeal. And then it's such a beautiful product to capture and to, put on your Instagram or have in your cabinet, line it up, stack it up. Like it's such a beautiful product. So yeah, adults use it, kids use it.
Aesthetic and functional.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted.
Cool. So talk to us about some of the steps that you took in year one as to like formalize your business. And in particular, this is a product-based business that you have to import. You have to get the product out of the country and bring it in. So we're going to get into design and inventory procurement and how do you navigate working with foreign companies. So we're going to get into that. But first, talk to us about some of the business basics that you did to really formalize the business, because I think there definitely are folks in year one or pre-year one who can benefit from just thinking about this checklist of some of the basics that they should do.
So let me give you this, right? I worked in retail for like almost 10 years.
As a makeup artist, exactly.
As a makeup artist and also in apparel.
Yeah.
So we had goals. We had all of the, what do you call it? Year to date, this, what goals you have to hit, this.
Your key performance indicators.
All of that.
Yeah.
And I legit use that to formulate, all right, this is when we're going to have a sale. It's slow in August. Let's bust a sale out in August because people are going back to school and things of that nature. And then like business owners, they get discouraged in the summertime because it's slow. People are outside. People are not really shopping online. People are not really shopping in store in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So I use all of that to basically help me. But I had a budget. I was like, you know what? Let me reach out to vendors. Let me see how much I can actually afford to put out for this product. And you just have to be comfortable with it. Like come up with your number, what you can do for marketing, for samples, because samples are expensive. You got to pay for shipping alone. When you accept your sample and you're like, oh, I love this is what it is, you'll be shocked at how much shipping costs. And
just for those who are not familiar, and this is something we could talk about here, as those not familiar with samples she's talking about is when you find a supplier and you want to test out the product for yourself, you buy a sample, which is a small selection of the product so that you can do what she did, testing it herself, inspecting it, getting it delivered so that you actually see, touch and feel the product before your customers do. And you want to do that first. And for you're buying a product from it internationally.
For my samples, I give it personally a good 60 days. Mm-hmm. If it's 60 days, if my bowl is changing, if my logo is starting to fade or become flat,
or the bowl is warping in this case, right?
It's just an L on my end. I'm gonna have to take that out, whatever. But budget for samples. Yes, it takes money to start a business, but let me tell you now, I'm pretty financially savvy. I started my business with a zero balance credit card. Mm-hmm. I legit, I had the cash, but it was just let me get the points. So let me,
mm-hmm. Not have to pay it off right away. Let me see what my expenses are going to be.
Exactly. And then I was just
within a limit.
But set your limit. Yeah. And then once I launched the business, I was able to pay the credit card off and make another order. Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to have, a little bit of whatever to, I guess, pay myself, but I didn't even use that. I was just no, I'm going to put this back into my business.
Mm-hmm. Question on sort of methodology. Are samples always, do you always have to pay for samples from your experience?
Okay. Maybe one time I didn't have to pay for sample. I had to pay for shipping, but shipping
is expensive. If you're going to buy something from China or somewhere else, it will be expensive.
$60 for, that's why I just make it worth your while and order what, the things that you feel like you want to sell. Order
a couple things at once.
What you want to do, because sometimes it may look good online, but it doesn't identify when you see it in person or, on your kitchen table. This just may not work for the aesthetic of what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. So order a couple, but just be prepared that shipping is trash.
What are some of the top challenges of kind of supplying or procuring a product with a supplier overseas?
Honest communication.
Uh-huh.
Honest communication. I ran into a lot of let me hit up my graphic designer and so and da-da-da, or we're on holiday, which I understand that too, Chinese New Year and all the other holidays and stuff like that. But just some vendors just not being honest. Just say you cannot, provide what I need from you or the quality, and let's just go our separate ways. It's okay. It is okay. But that's really honestly, I have honest communication. Vendors just being honest, and then you make a big order with someone that you think that you trust, and they send you garbage.
Right. So has the language barrier of working with overseas suppliers ever been an issue, or are you finding that many of them know how to communicate with you?
No, they communicate in English. Yeah. Good. Either they have a translation situation, but they in English.
Because communication style systems are changing, have you ever been able to get on video with them and see some of the stuff in person, or is it usually all email from your experience?
So mostly it's email, but with my bowl situation now, after this last situation that we had with a vendor, I need video. I need video communication. I need you to FaceTime me. If you have to step off of this app and hit me up on WhatsApp and call me, right. I need that type of communication.
Yeah. Do you think they're willing to do that type of stuff to make you comfortable? Okay, great.
Definitely. If they're invested in the fact that they know that you're going to purchase a certain amount of items from them, they're your best friend. Mm-hmm. But just do right by me so I can do right by you. And we can both be happily ever after.
Yeah. So for the boss fam and those kind of thinking about ordering products abroad and kind of wondering ways to navigate that and do it well, are there any things that you would say they need ahead of time in order to have smoother transactions? Do you have to have any specific licenses or paperwork, any special types of accounts that sort of make it easier or anything like that?
Preferably for me, just from my experience, if I were about another boss mom, yes, I use my own personal credit card. the first time, but now I'm using a business credit card.
Great.
Make sure that, you know, like things are just
separate from you. Yes.
So it's not Idia, it's Ola and Mide.
Yes. Know? Yeah. So you're using your limited liability and saying it's not me.
It ain't me.
Yes.
So and that's how you will have protection. So in a recent situation where a vendor just effed me over, I was able to. I have a great relationship with my bank. I've been banking with them since college, and they were like, "Oh, we got you," and it was cleared. Like it was cleared just like that. But I would say to make sure you have your logo, the logo that you want to use, because you want to get a visual of the product that you're trying to sell. It doesn't matter if you're selling hair. It doesn't matter if you're selling bibs, bows, like I am. It doesn't matter if you're selling t-shirts. Make sure you have the logo so that you can have the vision. So when they send you a product, you're like, okay, I like my things. I want to see a little smaller. Make sure you have your measurements, because if you got to switch vendors, you got to make sure you have the measurements of what's on your product so that things could go smoothly. Yeah. And then just take your time. Like it didn't happen for me overnight. I just had a vision of what I wanted to do and I did it. But some businesses are a little bit more complex than mine. But just do something that you feel like you're able to do and to manage.
Yeah. And then once the product comes here, there are folks that might not be familiar with how to work with the ports or anything, or how to work with delivery companies. What was your experience with kind of receiving the product once it was in the US?
I didn't have any issues with my stuff being cleared at all. Like I've actually been pretty good with that. I've used 2 different shipping methods. I've used DHL by air, and then I've also used I think it was FedEx by sea.
Okay. Even during the pandemic, you had to receive some product that you were able to. Okay.
I was still able to receive product. But I will say sea is much cheaper.
Yes.
Than air.
Definitely.
So if you're on a budget.
It's also slower.
It's slower.
Yes.
You're going to get your product between
say the absurd number.
35 and 60 days.
Yeah.
So I want to set the expectation. Let's just say 35 to 70 days. So if you have a product that you know that you want to release next month or
ain't happening by sea.
You're going to have to pay the extra $600 to ship it by air.
Yeah. Which, it has its cons because it might be eating into your cost of goods sold just to get the product here.
And you got to pay taxes.
Right. But do you have to pay taxes on shipping on sea as well?
Sea, no.
Oh, good.
So if you ship by air and it's over a certain amount, FedEx or DHL, they're going to send you a bill, and it's an invoice of the taxes that they basically have to put up on your behalf. You have to pay them back once it gets into the report. But other than that,
that's good to know.
Like just budget out like what taxes if you're gonna do by air, budget out $300 just in case.
And now the tax is a percentage, is not a standard. It's not a set amount, right?
It's not standard. It's not standard because I've gotten 2 different bills. One was like $60, and then I had one that was like $25.
Okay, that's not horrible.
It's not horrible, but depending on the type of product that you're selling,
could be something heavier than a nice light silicone bowl.
Yeah.
Take that into consideration.
Budget that out. Yeah.
Yes, that's good to know. And then C, the main thing is that it takes longer, but you avoid the taxes. So, you have to figure out which one is going to be the best option from a speed, cost, time frame, reliability standpoint. And when you did it by sea, you just picked it right on up at a port.
No,
at a building. How did that one work?
It comes to your house.
It still comes to your house. Even better.
Once it gets off of the boat, it's like it goes into whatever postal service. So if you get it by sea, they're shipping it to, let's say UPS,
a land, a land location,
and they actually bring it to your house.
Good. Okay.
I never had to. I knock on wood. I've never had to go to anybody's port.
Yeah.
I know my friends who do have businesses in Nigeria. They deal with
that's a whole thing. We got to bring someone on who's had that experience, but it's good to know that you were able to get it delivered direct, because that's some peace of mind. Anyone who might be thinking it's too complicated, there are ways to simplify it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hope your story is helping folks recognize, okay, it might be a little simpler than I thought.
Doable. It's doable. It doesn't matter. Like I said, there's a market for everybody. Like we can all sell the same thing. Like I don't even think people understand. There's literally, like they say, like there's literally 150 or million bread companies.
Right.
There are hundreds of silicone bowl companies. But guess what? People buy from me.
Yes.
People are gonna buy from you. People are gonna buy from the next one.
Yeah.
But guess what? They're always gonna, like you have your own.
You have your own message. You have your own brand narrative. You have your niche audience of who you're talking to. Exactly. And that changes, that changes things. Also, it means you're targeting a very specific set of people.
Yes, exactly. So,
which is, I do love how defined your brand is, because it really is, targeting those millennial moms of color. And it's saying, we have something for you. You're really connecting the culture. You're bringing that representation there. And it becomes like, I have to have this one. You could see your child using the product. You could see your own family using the product. So, that targeting and building a brand that resonates with a specific set of people is always a great idea.
Yeah. And then also too, like I had like someone had asked me, like, do like white moms or white parents buy from me? And I'm like, probably. Yeah, they do. And I was like, I said it just gives everyone an opportunity to learn more about people who don't look like them. Like we as Black women, Black men, Black everybody, like we have stories, like we like the same things that you guys like. We are human. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it puts like a human aspect to your business. You know what I'm saying? Like you're looking at me as not a threat. You're looking at me as a businesswoman. You're looking at me as a mom who loves her kids, who's not aggressive, or you know what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of build that connection when you see me on Instagram. Like you can legit talk to me in my DMs and be able to converse and ask me questions about it. And I've gotten
you're breaking some of the stereotypes some of them may have about what a mom of color looks like and acts like. Yeah.
And I love that. And it was such an interesting question when someone asked me. I was like, I've been around a plethora of people, and I'm just like them. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad that's your experience. So we talked about inventory procurement. Once you receive the product, how have you been storing it, and what are some of the things we should look out for or think about when setting up your inventory so that you can mail it out to customers, organizing it, looking through it? You just had this experience where, a product that you ordered for sampling was not what you ultimately desired it would be. And you ultimately had to, reconcile it with your bank, and you were able to get your money back. But, what were the plans to store that product, and how would you usually organize it once you've inspected it for quality?
So after I do quality assurance for every single product, and it's hundreds of products, I have like I have like organized storage containers. So not to say that you have to have, because I don't have a lot of space. I live in Brooklyn. Like there's not that much space. Yeah. Not that much of space. So I have a section in my living room that's cut off by my couch where I legit have SKUs, my own personal SKUs for every single product. Because remember, I come from a retail background. So this is inventory is like nothing for me. Like
you know how to organize this.
It's nothing to organize by color, by even with my stationery. Like I have inventory on stationery. Like how many stickers I have, how many poly mails I have, boxes, tape, all of that. Like all of that has to be accounted for. So I make sure I do that. Once I do like an inventory of all the product, I just place it in its rightful home. So like spoons will go with spoons, bowls will go with bowls, bibs will go with bibs. And I just color coordinate them or do them by SKU number.
Yes. And what has been some of your favorite software to fulfill your product and attach to your, whether you're using a Shopify or something else? What has been some of your favorite tools as a businesswoman to get your product ordered and labeled, shipped?
Oh, I use ShipStation.
ShipStation, great. What's been your experience with ShipStation?
Huh?
What's been your experience with ShipStation?
It's been great. It's actually been great. In terms of like getting a good because the way I do my shipping is basically I went to ShipStation. I put in like the weight of like basically if every
all your items.
Like I was just like, okay, this is gonna cost this much. So I was able to actually have a flat rate and figure out, all right, $8, $8, $9 shipping or whatever like that. And then I was able to just, link my site server to ShipStation, and all of my orders go to ShipStation, and I just print out my labels and stick it on the bag and ship it out. Drop it off, ship it out. And another key too, if you're about to start a business and you're shipping product, get familiar with the mom and pop shipping stores in your neighborhood. There's yes, because standing on the line at USPS is trash. But make sure you patronize them too, because I don't think they really get like paid from you dropping off prepaid items. So, buy a couple stamps, maybe a box or two or whatever. Bring them a gift, bring them donuts, bring them coffee, do something, because you're supporting them. So that's what I do. I go to my local shipping store and I drop my items off, and I know that my items are going to get to where they need to get to.
Yes.
I don't go to USPS.
Yeah.
You know how the post office goes.
Yeah. It can be a struggle sometimes. So if you do have a local shipping station or office that's not USPS, they could be a good option to explore. Particularly, I've seen business owners come in with trolleys of product and you're like, what are they doing? What are some of the things you're doing to engage your target audience or to like show them that you're hearing and you're interested in their feedback on the product?
So I do a lot of interactive posts, update with email. Like I'm getting better. I'm a small business, so we're working on it. Yeah. So I'm working, like I send out newsletters like, hey, we're still here, working up our new collection, just to have people like excited and ready for a new product. And then I also post, like, if I do get a sample that I'm really excited about, like I will sneak those into the content that I have. Yeah.
Nice. Let people know what's coming. So exactly. One of the challenges I always think about with the baby category or like kid supplies in general is how you constantly sort of have to talk to a new parent or a new family, because sometimes they're aging out. And this might be less so with your brand because you do have bowls and spoons. But for example, like the bibs, new people are discovering your brand every day as they find out, oh, I'm about to have a baby, or their friends are looking for creative gifts for them. How have you been thinking about, being able to have this brand that's really long lasting, and how do you deal with the churn? You have new customers every day. What are some of the things you think about related to that?
So I have new customers every day, but I also know that, look, my own actual kids are growing. So bibs, they probably won't use tomorrow. Right. So instead of bibs, like, introducing cups, introducing plates, introducing apparel, like, it's like, those are the type of, okay, like, let's see if we can figure out, I'm just using that example, like a stain-proof t-shirt or something like that. Like, if that's like in the cards for us, but like just things that I know that I'm gonna need, because as a new mom, I bought everything. Like I bought everything, and that's a good question. Like the reason why I actually really wanted to do cutlery, tableware, is because I know how long I've used bowls in my cabinet. And I just know that these things will actually age with them and grow with them, and they'll be able to use it as, okay, maybe not for purees or for, like, for baby
put
cereal.
your fruit in there, like you talked about, your yogurt.
Yes, for cookies, for for just all types of things. And that's the reason why I was like, yo, let's do something that's a little bit more sustainable age-wise. Because
I love that the business is growing as your kids grow. That's really cool.
And it has to, because I'll be lying. Like, my oldest daughter doesn't wear bibs all the time, but my youngest one does. Right. She wears them every day because she enjoys it. But my 3-year-old, she's a teenager. Like, she's
grown now.
She want to wear a bow. So it's like, yeah.
And I guess referral, right? So even though you're churning, your audience sometimes is growing out of certain products, they are some of the best people to say, hey, this is what I use when they're talking to their friend who's a new mom. They can say, oh, I use this. You should get this for your family, get this for your child.
Put me on your registry.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. And so you're starting to tell us about the next frontier. You talked about potentially going into some other categories as your kids are developing. You're thinking about apparel. You're thinking about things that your children are actually, your oldest is actually now needing. Is that what we could expect for Ola and Mide as a brand?
So I'm definitely working on apparel. That's like, it may not be like t-shirts and jeans and stuff like that yet, but like, it's more so apparel for the person taking care of the kids.
Oh.
So something for the adults, something that you can wear to the park, wear to the grocery store. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to stay tuned for that. That's exciting.
So, and you know how that goes, samples and making sure that the red ain't sticking out and this wears like this and washes like that. So yeah, it's coming though. It's coming.
Well, hopefully, your experience at the beginning is going to give you some wisdom to go into this, new category of things, because now you at least know how to navigate working with the foreign brand, working with foreign companies and suppliers and sort of dealing with the contracts that go with that, the minimum order quantities and all that. So I think you'll have some wisdom.
And it's also, it's honestly like, it's a forever learning experience. Like when you're starting a business, like your first year, it works, right? So in my personal experience, like I know that I need to make a bigger bowl order than bibs, because bowls legit sell, and just being fully transparent, bowls sell way more than bibs. Bowls, they come with a spoon and like I also sell spoons as well, but I know that I may not need to order any more spoons because they didn't do that well. But I need more quantity of bowls than anything, or flatware in general.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's an added accessory.
Yes,
like it's an added accessory. If you want to buy it, great, that'll be like amazing. But bowls, it's like, I don't know what it is, but
that's your hero product.
We're literally just like, give me all the bowls. Give me all the bowls.
They love the bowls. So we throughout the conversation, we really talked about some of the learnings and challenges. Can you think of any additional ones that the Boss Fam may benefit from when you think about some of your early experiences as a new business? Can you think of any other learnings or challenges that maybe if they hear, it might sort of help them do something different when they approach the situation?
So communication with your customer, especially during the pandemic. I haven't had an issue yet with like shipping to a customer, but always being transparent with your customer.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand, as a consumer myself, I know how I feel when a product is late. I'm very much like, my ShipStation app is on my phone. So I'm really like, okay, this one isn't in transit. Like I sent this
already
4 days ago. Why you know what I'm saying? So I'm always like communicating with my customer. Hey, I just checked on your shipping. Like I just want to be fully transparent. It doesn't show that moved yet, but I will definitely let you know. Like I have it on alert just to make sure that you get your product. Let me know when you get it, just so they'll know, like, I don't have you in the dark. I didn't just take your money and, hey, that's a sale, let me go celebrate it. No, it's like, no, I want you to know that I'm actually checking on your thing so that you won't be in the dark. If things happen, shipping does go missing, things get stolen or whatever like that. Like I just want them to know that like I'm on it on my end, because I'm the only person who handles shipping, handles emails, does orders, all of those things. So like I just communicate, and also know how to communicate.
Yeah.
You're sending
professional.
You're sending that email. I mean, just like if you write in all text or in all caps, that customer is going to know that you're being a sassy pants. Even if you know that they're wrong, remember, in the same breath, the customer is always right. Like the customer is always right. And I think because I worked in retail for so long, I know how to handle customers. And this is why I think things have been, you know, by the grace of God, successful, is because I know how to talk to people.
That is a great skill. Yeah.
And also prioritize your day of admin. Make sure people
tell us about this. This is good.
Make sure people's orders are going out on time.
Yeah. So creating a system, right? So maybe you ship every other day, or you have certain days where you ship, you have certain days where you pack, you know, whatever that system is, you know, organization is everything. Your life is going to get busy. And to that point, could you speak to about how much time, for those wondering, like, what is the time commitment for an e-commerce brand? And I know some of them will vary, like apparel brand might vary, but just give us an idea of like, what is that time commitment to have an e-commerce product that you're having to ship on a regular basis and engage with your audience and pack, and you're doing all of that as a solopreneur or with a small team. What do some of those time commitments look like?
So for me, because I am by myself, like I'm getting better with my content because I'm so focused on making sure people's orders go out that I'm not going to lie to you, like just being fully transparent. Like I don't want to say I forget content, but I'm so immersed in making sure everyone's orders going out on time.
But that's your priority right now, is giving them the product. Yeah.
We're legit having a end of, like, we're clearing out shop because we have new product that's coming in. So like we got to make space for new stuff. Like it's a soon be a new year. We have to make space for new items. So I'm packing all those orders, but then you have to remember, you have to prioritize your content. You got to keep people in the loop. Like you have to make, like, it's still a business at the end of the day. Like people still will forget you. Like if you're not active on social media. You got to be
in the conversation with, you know, finding the right people at all times.
So I try to give myself, for shipping and admin work, honestly, like I try to clock in like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
3 days a week.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I still have to, you know, I still got to do everything else at home. Like I still have to like manage like my household. So yeah, 3 to 4 hours with each. Like, so yeah, 12 hours, like 12 hours a week. I want to do more though. I definitely want to do more.
Have you found any best practices for yourself? Like when I structure it like this, my day seems to flow. Have you found any best practices?
Clock in. Like I legit set a timer in as if I was clocking in on a job.
Yeah. So you could focus in.
I have to focus on that. Like I have to be able to put on all my hats and, you know, make sure I'm putting in the people's emails that I have gotten into my email system and, you know, coming up with strategies, like researching new product, researching what's popping on Instagram so that I can know, let me keep up. Like, you know,
the trends, right?
Keep up with the trends. So I do a lot of market research because I'm a consumer myself and I know what I want to buy. And as a cool mom, I know what's lit, and I know what I like for my own kids. And people are very much immersed into knowing what your kids like and wear and this and that. So I'm very into seeing what's trending, especially as not to say I'm gonna buy everything, but I like to see what's trending so I can know what to possibly
and how to appeal to your target market the same way though, you know, the market is appealing to you.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Everyone can learn from somebody. You know, you can learn from that next business. Like, oh, what are they doing that is making their followers go up? Let me study that, because it's a game. Like it's all a game. Like it's all a game that we have to like learn.
Yeah.
The internet is a tough place to navigate.
It's a monster. Yeah. So many things you have to handle and get ahead of, and you know, you have to have so many skills in order to be successful. So it's definitely keep you on your toes.
Yes, it's humbling. It's humbling.
Yeah.
It really is.
So I love where the business is going. We're excited for you and the brand, and it's always good. Our hope is to really always partner with, you know, hear stories from brands of all different ages and stages, because that helps us to understand. So, you know, what's going on in year 1 of e-commerce business. And then we've talked to brands that are in year 5 and 7, and there's different business activity going on. So I hope this episode really inspires folks who are thinking about doing an e-commerce business and trying to, be involved with all of the opportunities that working from home and that e-commerce allows as a business, but also, what you shared is the realities of running an e-commerce business. So I think you mentioned some great points and some good insight here, as well as good learnings from your challenges that'll help people just get started with a little bit more insight than they had before. Yeah. So is there an ideal retailer you think you would love to be listed on their website or in their retail stores?
Yes. So, okay. My goal is to be listed on Nordstrom.
Oh,
I love Nordstrom. The Neiman Marcus gift section. Pottery Barn.
I see the trend here. Yes.
Crate and Barrel. And possibly, Target. Like, but those, honestly, those places, like, those are places that I love to get, give gifts. Like, they have such great baby products, and like, I know what my friends like, so I know where they like to shop. I know my consumer like to shop. I know what they like, and those are still attainable, affordable places. I mean, plus my stuff is affordable, so like they can literally be anywhere. So
your premium gifting can be at Nordstrom and Neiman, and then your everyday line, that's stain fighting and all the things that your brand stands for. Target, because they actually have they've really improved their gift registry significantly. I'm seeing a lot of millennial moms. All my friends have babies at this point, so like a lot of times I'm seeing Target as one of their registries, if not sometimes the only. So those
are literally like Nordstrom and Neiman Marcus, and
you said Crate and Barrel, Pottery Barn.
And Target. Those are like my goals. So I'm saying it today, but I'm giving I'm not gonna give myself. I'm going to work on it.
Yes.
Hopefully in the next 2 years or 3.
Yeah.
In those places, like to at least have like a bowl or a plate in a section.
We gotta have a little bit of a small portfolio, though. So flatware, bowl, utensils.
Bowl of bib.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's honestly, I don't know how to do it, but I'm gonna figure it out.
You don't know how to do it yet.
I don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah. We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
And continue to grow. You're literally still in year 1, so there's a lot of great things to learn, and you're mastering things where you are right now. You're mastering kind of understanding your inventory, bringing out a few collections, and understanding kind of the time that takes. Because once you're ready to be in retail or on another retailer's website, you want to have that timelines and all that process down packed. You want to have your suppliers down packed. Who knows? You might move it to the US if you find a partner here to see if you could reduce that. There's a lot of little things to figure out.
Goal. Goal. That is the goal.
Yeah. There's a lot of little things to figure out as you get ready, but you're certainly on the right track, thinking about the right things.
Yeah. So if any of your listeners can put me in the right direction.
I'm going to connect you after this call.
If you guys have any tips or tricks on how to boost marketing or how to do marketing at a cost-effective, because Facebook ads are not cheap.
No.
Okay. Let me know, because I'll do it. I'll make the time. I'll learn. If there's a YouTube video, podcast, anything, let me know.
We got you covered. So, Boss Fam got you covered. I'll connect you with some experts. I'll help you with marketing as well, and sort of set you on another path here. Yes. What does it mean for you to be Black on Shelf as a brand dedicated to championing and representing kids of color?
What does it mean to me?
Yeah.
I mean, it means everything. I have Black children, so it's like they're everything to me, and the children I have in my life, like, they're everything to me too. So being able to celebrate them daily, even outside of Ola and Mide, like, it's everything. So being able to actually celebrate them in a brand is even bigger for me, because I know, like, where the joy comes from. I know, looking at my niece or my nephew, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, she rock a unicorn, you know, like these are things that inspire me to like pick, you know, like it's so much more than just picking a bowl and selling it. Like it's so much behind it, like even behind the names, you know, people who have impacted my life. Like my top seller is my Joko collection.
Yes.
It means sit down in Yoruba. And actually one of my really, really good friends, Tide, she used to always tell her kids like, Joko, and I'd be like, like you always tell them to sit down. And like this product is like, it's
sitting you down.
It's sitting down. So like it's those little things. And then like
that.
My top selling bowl is my Osa bowl. And they're both actually business owners. And Osa has Shop Didara skincare line.
Oh, and I've heard of it. Yes. I've heard of it. I have some. Yes.
She's a pink girl, and I know she loves pink. And like when I saw this pink, I was like, oh shit, like this is really like an Osa bowl. Like, and I named the bowl after her because she's legit a pink girl. And these are people who have impact in my children's life, who are in my children's life. So it's more than just, like I said, selling a product. Like it's the story behind how we pick and choose and curate these products. Because like I said, anyone can sell this stuff. Anyone can sell it. So that's what it means to me. It's everything. Like it's really everything to celebrate the people around me. Like through my business, through my brand, means everything to me. So
love that representation and that nod to your own community that has supported you. Yeah, that's amazing. Tell the Boss Fam where they can follow Ola and Mide.
So you can follow me on Ola and Mide on Instagram. You can shop Ola and Mide at www.olaandmide.com. I'm working on my Pinterest because I love Pinterest. Like that's really like when my mom life kind of started was Pinterest. So I'm actually creating a whole Ola and Mide Pinterest situation. So I want to kind of create a collective through Pinterest with moms on my page or dads or caretakers. So we can literally connect on Pinterest, like show me what you like, what's new, what's popping, add it on our board so we can be in the loop of it. Because look, it's a community, like nobody could do it alone. So yeah. So you can follow me on Pinterest.
That's a great one. Should I start like getting my Pinterest vibe for like my future children, our the look and feel? Should I start to envision all that?
all of it, like all of it. Because let me tell you, like you envision, you pray about it, you work on it, it's gonna happen, it's gonna come.
Amen to that. Well, we continue to champion what you are doing and support you. Cannot wait to see your new collection. And I'm super excited about how the opportunity for you to expand the brand into more products that really grow up with your kids, that follow the growth and development of your own kids as you expand the brand. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Awesome. Thank you again for coming.